Alright guys, I want you to listen to me now. I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to play in the Yu-Gi-Oh meta? Have you ever wanted to compete at high-end regionals or just, top some locals, but you don't have the budget to do it? Well, I've just solved all your problems. What's up guys, it's Rogue here and we are simply keeping it rogue. And for today's video I got you guys as you probably heard from the intro, a very budget option for you guys to play with and test. This is a very budget deck, but don't get me wrong guys, when it comes to consistency, power and locking down your opponent, it literally doesn't feel like it's a budget deck. So before we get into this deck profile guys, I want you guys to smash that like button, leave a comment down below saying how amazing this deck profile is. Just do it right now, and make sure you are subscribed, because 95% of you who watch this video are not subscribed guys. I don't know what you're doing. I think you guys have not heard that there's a massive giveaway happening at 1,000 subs, so make sure you guys are here for that. Trust me, you do not want to miss that. And without any further ado, let's get straight into this deck profile. Alright guys, so let's start this amazing deck profile, but before we begin I'm going to be mentioning that the budget for our main deck, extra deck and side deck is £50 guys. I think that is a very reasonable amount to have, and it is the barrier of entry for this deck profile. So without any further ado, let's get straight onto the first monster. So as you can see, I went for a Shaddoll type deck, very simply because the structure deck provides pretty much 80% of all the cards that you need to compete here. So to start this off, we're going to be starting with triple Shaddoll Scrum Master. You guys know why we're playing this. This is a graveyard deck, and this is a monster that foolish burials you any of your Shaddoll cards. Do I have to say any more guys? That is why you're playing this at 3. Obviously, this will be a trap version, so you will be aiming to resolve him during your opponent's turn, and you're going to be aiming to send yourself either your double Wendy, so you can special any out the deck, or your double Ariel, because she is just a DD Crow, but 3 times better because she vanishes 3 cards. So that is what you're going to be aiming to do guys during your opponent's turn. You're going to be sending your Wendy or your Ariel, and then you're going to be using your traps to gain extra advantage. So for another 2 up here, we got Double Beast, because he draws your card, and that is amazing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Why wouldn't you want to draw cards guys? Drawing cards is the nuts. And we're also going to accompany him with Shaddoll Hedgehog. If you don't feel like drawing, you can just add yourself instead. So that is why I'm playing 2 of each, and they are very good for consistency in this deck. Moving on to the 1 of Shaddolls here, we got 1 Dragon, because spells and traps are a thing guys, and sometimes you do need to pop them, and 1 Falco, because simply you just want to get a body on board, which is what Falco is there for. So that is it for the Shaddoll monsters guys. This is all provided to you in the Shaddoll structure deck, so don't worry about having to buy anything on the side. For the hand traps though, you will have to be buying something extra on the side, and it will be our Gamma package. The reason I picked Gamma is because, first of all, he had just got reprinted in Rare guys. That's right, in Rare. So you can literally get your playset of Gammas for nothing more than, I think, around £3 if you are using TCG Player, as of what I am currently checking. So not too bad for probably arguably the best hand trap of the format, and the reason he's very good in this deck is because set 5 pass is a thing with this deck, and when you have 5 spells and trap sets, what don't you have? You don't have monsters guys, meaning Gamma is live. And also, if you haven't realized, he is light, and these are all the light targets we will be playing in our main deck to reduce the bricking aspect of sometimes playing lights in Shaddolls. And that is it for our hand traps guys, because we are going to be moving on to the spells. Now for the spells here, we are of course going to be playing Triple Super Poly. This card guys I feel is very underrated in this meta. This card simply just says no to big boards and absorbs everything, and boom, now you have a monster instead. So at the cost of just discarding the card guys, you can literally break boards, which is why I feel like you should play this card at 3. You can literally now Super Poly for the Eldritch fusion monster, so you even have an extra way to get through Eldritch, and of course against Darks you always have your Starving Venom. So very useful card. You can also use it in the battle phase. If you need that extra damage, you can fusion summon an extra monster and then swing in for more damage and hopefully win the game. So that is why I'm playing Triple Super Poly, also provided in the structure deck. Moving on to our actual Shaddoll spell cards, it's a very low amount in this deck profile, because guys, this is again a trap version of Shaddolls, and if it's a trap version of Shaddolls, we're not going to be really comboing off that much. So we got 2L Shaddoll Fusion and then just normal Shaddoll Fusion. You can arguably bump this up to 3 and put this down to 1, or just simply cut them out, guys, for more traps. It's all up to you. What I like about this deck is it's very versatile in how you want to play. You want to play more combo, take out a few of the traps. You want to play more control, add more traps, guys. Simple as that. So basically your main goal in this deck is going to be having lots and lots of scary back row and a Winder. And trust me, guys, Winder in 2021 will still win you games. I can promise you that. So that is why we're playing 2 of each. This card going second is insane because you get to use your, resources from the deck, which, it's from the deck, so it's for free. And this is a quick play, so again, you can do it in the battle phase for extra damage and to make Winder during opponent's turn once they've committed to a special summon. So that's it, guys. We're going to move on to the traps. So for the main traps here, we do have our triple trap tricks. This, unfortunately, is not provided in the Shaddoll structure deck, but did get a reprint in a side set recently, and it is a super rare now. So very cheap, guys. Honestly, and what I'm telling you, this deck is budget. I literally mean it. This deck is very budget, and this allows access to basically all of your traps. So that is why I'm playing it at 3. You can get all your traps basically with this. Moving on to arguably the most powerful trap in the entire deck. Trust me, guys, once you add Torrential Tribute to your Shaddoll decks, it's going up at least 20 levels, guys. Because when I tell you can get free board wipe from this card while still gaining advantage, if that doesn't sound crazy, I don't know what does. So triple Torrential Tribute, of course, this is a common, guys, so, it's not going to be worth, it's not going to be worth much. And that is why I added it into this deck profile, especially just being a free board wipe, and your Shadolls all benefit from being in the grave and being sent by Torrential. There's literally no reason to not run this card. Moving on, of course, to our Dogmatica card here. Of course, we're going to be playing the Punishment. This is amazing synergy with the Shadolls. We aren't playing the Shaddoll Schisms, obviously, because those are around £25 each at the time I am recording this video, and that is literally the price of half this deck in one card. But I am playing the Dogmatica Punishment because this has very versatile use in this deck. You can obviously send your Entis for a double pop, which is what most people do. You can also send your App Cologne to basically search you any Shaddoll card. Or, guys, you can send your Ciphering Gear Omega, and then you can recycle stuff back into your deck and extra deck and all that. So that is why I feel like this card is very useful. Again, guys, it's a common, so very cheap as well. Shouldn't be too hard to get. I'm pretty sure you guys, you can get these. You probably already have these in bulk somewhere. Moving on to more Shaddoll traps here. We are playing triple Sinister Shadow Games. This was provided in the structure deck, so no additional purchase needed. And this card, guys, is absolutely insane. Once you realize this card is not a once per turn, and it's literally just a Foolish Burial for any Shaddoll monster, you realize it can get quite insane. Especially if you flip, if you already have a Shaddoll set, you send one and then it flips it as well. Just absolutely insane, guys. Of course, can be trap tricks out the deck as well. Mostly going to be using these in the end phases to send your Wendy to get bodies on board for a next turn push. Very useful card. For our last, 2, I guess, traps here, we got our 2 Lost Wind, again provided gracefully for us in our Shaddoll structure deck. This is basically a, you can negate 2 monsters with this because you'll activate it, it'll go to the grave, and then it'll reset itself again. And you can also use it in the damage step, guys, to half the attack of your opponent's monster, and that is not till the end of the turn, that is forever. Once they lose it, then it's lost. So very useful to protect your Winder as well in damage step. And yeah, basically aim of the deck is make Winder, protect Winder, simple as that. And for the last 2 traps of the deck, guys, it is also provided to us in the structure deck. It is double Shaddoll Incarnation. This trap, guys, even if you're not playing the combo version, guys, you do realize that this trap is insane. It's literally a monster reborn for your Shadolls, and then when it's in the grave, you can banish it and then flip a monster. If you know the combo, guys, which if you guys do want a combo tutorial, I will provide one. If you don't know the combo, basically you banish this and a construct, flip an aerial, and special back your construct, and then send again, which is absolutely insane. So 2 of this, again, usually you're going to be trap tricksing it out the deck, so just banish 1, and then you have 1 to monster reborn something, and then use it in the grave again. So very useful card here, and we're going to be now quickly moving on to the extra deck. Alright, guys, so for the extra deck, the budgetness continues. We're going to be playing 1 Borisor Dragon. I bet you guys never thought that would be in a budget deck profile, but this just got a reprint in maximum gold, so it is now very cheap. Not this version, but there is an alternate up, which is around a few pounds, so very cheap card, and I highly recommend it for your OTKs. We got one Cross Sheep, again another card that did get a reprint. It came reprinted in Ultra, so an even higher rarity and made it more available for everybody. So that's very nice when Konami does that. Cross Sheep basically helps you extend and pushes you to make an Abyss Dweller, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be fusion summoning with another level 4 on board, bringing back a level 4 from the grave, and then just overlaying it to an Abyss Dweller. So very, very nice. One Shaddoll construct, not El Shaddoll construct, guys. Don't get that wrong on your deck list, please. That has happened before to somebody and they did get disqualified. So just remember, this is Shaddoll construct and not the original. So why am I playing this? It came in the structure deck, so I feel like it at least warranted one space. It's a light target and it's a fusion. Basically, its effect lets you fusion summon. So I thought, you know, it's at least worth a spot in the extra deck. And for our last link here, we are playing one Gravity Controller. Didn't come in the structure deck, but is a common and is as cheap as chips. So highly recommend it, because if you make your Shaddoll construct in the extra monster zone, you can then slap this bad boy on the field and the construct will then be sent to grave, triggering her effect. So very nice. Moving on to the main summoning method of the deck here, we're going to the fusions. We do have triple El Shaddoll construct. Obviously, she is the heart and soul of the deck, guys. The fact that none of her effects are once per turn is insane, and if there is any problematic monster, you just attack it and it dies. So very, very nice. That is why we're playing triple of the day. For our other fusions here, we are playing double of the new El Shaddoll fusion, which is Apcalone. Apcalone has multiple uses in this deck, not only to negate cards, which is her effect when she comes out, but also her search effect when sent with Dogmatica Punishment. So very, very useful card here. The win condition of the deck we are playing two of, and it is Winder, guys. You guys know what Winder do. As soon as they commit to a special summon, you make Winder, they special, and guess what? There's no more specialing for them. So very, very nice Winder. And if you have the quick play, you can obviously, you know, if they're going to destroy your Winder or send it to the grave, you can activate your quick play and then just make a second Winder, which is always funny when that happens. Moving on to another super poly target here, we do have our Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. He also comes in common, guys, so do not worry about that. Yeah, basically he's just used to soak up your darks that your opponent has, and then just, you know, now you got a monster instead of them, which is always nice. Moving on to the last fusion of the deck here, we do have a Entis. Of course, this is for a double pop, which is insanely strong, because Punishment will send her, Punishment will pop, and then she will pop. You guys know what she does. She's been spammed out in all the Dogmatica engines. For our synchro here, we do have our Psy-Frame Lord Omega. I feel like this is a win more card. If you Omega during your turn, for example, when they try and ash you, you Omega them, and then you literally cycle a card out their hand as well, so it's like extra punishment. So very, very nice card. Also, it has an effect when in the grave, guys, don't forget. So if it's in the grave, it can basically recycle itself. And for the last card here, we do have one Abyss Dweller. Again, very cheap card, being reprinted multiple times now. And basically is just a way to, you know, make your opponent's cards stay dead. Just switches off pretty much everything in the graveyard. And we all know how the meta revolves around decks that use the graveyard. I'm talking about Eldritch, I'm talking about Drytron, I'm talking about Virtual World, I'm talking about all that. Abyss Dweller stops that and just makes your life a lot easier. So that's the end of the budget deck profile, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment down below if you did. Hope you guys did find this refreshing. I wanted to put a deck out there that was beginner friendly and also budget. I feel like this deck will do great for you in locals and can do relatively well in the regionals. Of course, with this deck, there's always a insane upgrade route. You can always pick up your Schisms, your Dogmatica engines as soon as you start, you know, winning stuff. And being able to afford the more expensive cards, which I feel is very, very important, because it keeps you hungry for playing, motivated to upgrade your deck, and just keeps you playing the deck and falling in love with the deck. So hope you guys did enjoy the video, guys. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
It's time! Let's go!